7 a.m. in the morning, wiped the sleep from my eyes. Felt just like an ordinary day. Good morning.
Morning. So, welcome to Horrid Wizarding, friends, the official podcast of footballers who kick cats.
Yeah, so funny you mentioned that because I was going to mention that.
It's not funny. I'm very pissed off, and I'm pissed off. Do you know why?
Go on.
Do you know why I'm pissed off? I'll tell you why I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off because for two reasons. Firstly, I'm pissed off because I don't like to see cruelty to an innocent creature like that. Anybody knows the story, it's a West Ham footballer, Kurt Zouma, a former Chelsea footballer, who was kicking and slapping his cat in his premises. But do you know what? The other reason why I'm pissed off?
Go on.
I'm pissed off because it has been hyped up to make me pissed off. So everybody's very outraged, and I feel that I have residual outrage happening.
Well, in solidarity of the poor creature that was kicked up that lovely cat paw on my mug.
Yeah, I'm glad you have some solidarity. Now, there is such a thing as solidarity going a bit too far, though, because there were some footballers. Now, you know, footballers, apart from Duncan Watmore, every footballer is thick as shit, yeah? We know this, yeah? They're absolute thick as two planks. Apart from Duncan Watmore, who has a first degree in economics.
The only solidarity I have is first thing in the morning, but anyway, moving on.
And the reason this is a problem is because a few footballers tried to articulate themselves as to how sad they were with this incident. And they just tied themselves into stupid knots. So,
yes.
So Chris Kirkland, who I think is not in the same bracket as Duncan Watmore, he is thick as two planks. He started saying stuff like, you know, this is an absolute outrage. Firstly, he needs to be sacked. And secondly, this is this is worse than all these other kind of abuses. And he started going into racism and stuff. And then when he was challenged on this, that look, you don't need to like compare the two bad things. He was like, yeah, but you know, a human being can defend themselves against the racism. So that's why the animal thing was what.
So we've learned from. Go on. I'll let you finish because you have a lot to say on the matter.
I did have a lot to say. So anyway, this is why you never actually ask a footballer to express themselves in words. There's other ways they can express themselves. Yeah, sometimes hopefully with their feet and their heads, and other times with all kinds of other body parts they choose to express themselves, but certainly not with their brains. And through the medium of words. That's what I'd like to say.
I wonder what Martin Keown has to say about the whole thing, because he's actually quite an intelligent, articulate man. I really like listening to him because he's from North London. So
Nah, see, I don't think he's an intelligent man. I just think that he speaks slowly, so people assume he's intelligent. I think all his energies have been gone into regrowing
that's
about three strands of hair that fell out of his head in like 2004. And he's been trying to regrow that hair since 2004.
Would you rather listen to Martin Keown or Robbie Savage?
You know what? I would rather die than do either of those things. So kill me now if those are the options.
Excellent. So seeing as you've ruined one of my games today, which
was that the question? Was that a question? Would you rather listen to Martin Keown or Robbie Savage?
Now, would you rather be Kurt Zouma or would you rather be his cat?
Okay, shall we do that now?
Yeah, we'll get into it.
All right, okay. Would I rather be Kurt Zouma or his cat? Now, just for clarification, there is a temptation to become Kurt Zouma because his 2-week fine for kicking the cat was £250,000. So you can see that there is some kind of merit in being a footballer. However, have you seen Kurt Zouma's face?
Yes, I have.
My answer is I'll be the cat all day long.
Okay, moving on. Would you rather be Jacob Rees-Mogg's buttonhole on his double-breasted jacket or the green leather chair that Priti Patel sits on?
Now, I know what your answer to this is, you dirty bastard. But
no. Yes, I'm into buttonholes, yes.
I will. You're into many kinds of holes, to be honest with you, Babar. And I've always had to kind of scale you back on your obsession.
To keep a straight face for this very serious current affairs program that we are hosting.
Just I don't know what I wouldn't accuse us being a current affairs program. But by the way, your milk story went down really well because we had a particularly bad episode last week because it was in the middle of the night. Yeah. But your milk story went down very well. People really like that.
Oh, that's really good. It wasn't a story. It was just like a real life scenario. I didn't make it up. I
You know,
promise.
it reminded me of and quite a few people then shared with me their experiences about similar things that happened to them. Obviously, I didn't care, so I can't remember any of the stories. But thank you to the people who shared anyway. But there's one that I remember for what happened to me. I was taking once a Saudi dignitary around London, as you do. I think
Around London, around about 4 a.m. in the morning, by any chance, my friend?
No, that's it was in the
Hyde
summer
Park
months.
Corner?
Yeah, they normally
Hyde
come
Park
here
Corner?
in these summer months to sample the delights of the West, and leave their wives in Saudi, Dammam, Riyadh, that kind of thing. No, and he had a warm can of Coke, which had obviously got heated by the summer sun, and he chose to go into a corner shop in London and ask if he could swap the warm can of Coke for one from the fridge without any money being exchanged. And he was rightly, I think, told to fuck off by the by the newsagent.
Yeah, but like for like, man, it's a good exchange, man.
So your, in your milk story was actually had a happier ending than that one. Anyway, coming back to Rees-Mogg versus the green leather chair.
No, so it's not Rees-Mogg himself, it's his buttonholes on his double-breasted jacket.
Yeah, so would I rather be that? So this is a choice between two inanimate objects, is that right?
Yeah, just anything that, I mean, you just imagine what type of action each one of those things gets.
Yeah, so I think on the basis that Rees-Mogg is the finest gentleman that this country has ever produced, and that is borne out by all the evidence of him being an exceptional and fine gentleman, I think I will have to be his buttonhole, just because, yeah, I don't want to go anywhere near Patel's ass.
Yeah, but yeah, I chose the buttonhole as well.
No, you didn't, you big fat liar.
No, it was the buttonhole. So I'm just a big fan of his tailoring.
Well, but your literal hobby is going near asses.
Please, I have friends that will watch this.
You have no friends apart from me. Let's just get that straight. Anyway, talking about these things, have you got any more questions, by the way?
Yeah, would you last one to keep it
right.
very, very current and real life, like?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Would you rather have my broadband connection from Sky or pay for higher energy bills?
Oh no, I'm seeing as I'm already going to be paying for high energy bills, and I have a 1 gig connection versus your like 5 meg connection. I think that answers itself, really.
All right,
I'm happy with my life.
Moving on.
That's a good feature. Are you going to do this every week?
Every week.
I actually have some notes today, although I haven't used any of them yet. So do you want, you got a choice now. Do you want a former MMA fighter or do you want Lawrence of Arabia?
For what exactly?
I don't know.
To have as a friend?
No. This is so I've got some notes here.
Okay, if I was to choose, I would choose Lawrence of Arabia because I feel.
Yeah.
I just feel.
Yeah, you just feel.
I just feel that it'd be pretty charming.
Yes, in a way. Yeah, I think stories of his charm have abounded. And in fact, I was reading about him being quite heavily into sadomasochism. So he used to pay gentlemen to beat the shit out of him quite violently.
Very nice, nicely going on from our previous Jacob Mogg-Rees and Priti Patel.
Yeah, if you call him Jacob Mogg-Rees to his face, he's not going to be pleased. Okay?
Jacob Rees-Mogg, Mogg-Rees, Megan Mogg.
And so he had some. So
I've got his name written down here as well. It's too funny, man. I just love the guy.
I'm really impressed that you did this preparation. I feel so touched that you actually prepared something for the show. That's very nice of you. So apparently he got gripped by the Ottoman Turks, who proceeded to torture him in various ways, and he had some unresolved issues from some very harsh beatings at the hands of his mother. I've been reading about him for some reason, and so in later life it transpired that he had been paying people to hit, very much like, do you remember Max Mosley?
I was just about to say, Max Mosley, but I was going to say that a lot of people who are pretty highly influential or have some sort of power are into sadomasochism.
Yeah, so obviously, if now our listeners are truly inspired by this show, so on that basis, I have been just looking into some steps to safety in BDSM, which I thought I would share in case anybody. Yeah, because I mean, I'm going to see you in the week probably, and if we decide to do anything together, I want it to be clear that we are just remember taking safe steps.
Yeah, remember the secret word. Remember what the secret word is.
You're jumping ahead now. So firstly, it says here, this is an easy guide to safety in BDSM. So we've got here, why should you care? And it says here, you should care, because I'm just reading off my iPad. It says you should care because you want to avoid serious physical and emotional injuries. So that's the first thing. Yeah. Now, number one is safe words, and this is something I didn't know, because it says a code word that either stops or slows down the play in intensity. So you see, I thought a safe word just cancelled everything, and
no.
You sort of lost the vibe. But in fact, you can have certain grades of safe words, in which case you can, as it says here, slow down the play in intensity. So I thought that's quite good.
I think the purpose of it all is not to be in control,
but then to have an element of control if something
a little bit, just a
overstepped. Yeah, because one of the things is setting expectations. Because it says here, look, inform yourself about the play and the tools you'll be using, because you see, you have to set expectations with your partner or partners in order to safeguard yourself.
Well, I have a very large rucksack that I could potentially fit into.
That now I have in the past fit you into a small child's toy car, haven't I? One of those pedal cars that children get into.
You really liked to cram me in there, didn't you?
I did actually, and I've got a video of that which we should maybe find later. And then finally, aftercare. So it says here, last step, but of the most importance, provide physical and emotional aftercare to each other.
So basically cuddling, at the end.
No, I think it means that it could mean. I mean, in my case, I think it'd probably be I'd probably just be a text message about a couple of weeks later to see if the other person has healed. I think that's the most I would go into. But it's the thought that counts as well. The other thing, so there's a guide here on self-spanking as well, which I won't go into right now. There is now a quiz, which I can do now or later. It's on spanking. It's on spanking sting levels. And I've got here a scale of between 1 and 10, and you can guess. I'm going to describe the implement, and you can guess. Shall we do that a bit later? We can go on to something.
Shall we just go out with a bang?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can do if you want. By the way, I've completely abandoned. You know how I was saying last week that I wanted to talk about English heraldry.
You did.
It's been 2 weeks now. I wanted to talk about English heraldry. It's intensely boring, if I'm honest with you. I think that maybe I might shelve that, or I might just have that as like a threat. If we ever dry up, I'll start talking about it, and then the show's going really bad. So regular watchers can maybe look out for that. If I ever talk about English heraldry,
you just keep that in your artillery. Yeah, let's keep that in the arsenal for one of those days. I have something to talk about, which I've only just discovered while I was trying to look for the link for this program.
Yeah, go on then.
This Zoom link, that we have exchanged 546 voice notes.
It gives you stats. Is this in Telegram? Because I'm not on WhatsApp.
Telegram, we don't use anything else. Yeah, so there's 5. That's just the voice notes, my friend. The conversations, on the other hand. How sad are we?
That's really sad, actually. I didn't, and especially seeing as we've only been using Telegram for about a year.
Yeah, so because you tend to just fuck off every now and then leave me, and that's why I'm into arses and spanking, because this show is for me, isn't it?
Is that your rebound from my friendship? That you gravitate towards these things?
Because normally this is how it works. This is how relationships go. You break up, you get angry, you want to go and look to take it out on somebody or something. A good old Rogering, basically. That's what you want to do once you've had some hurt in your life.
By you, do you mean yourself?
Yeah, I've only referred to myself. So you have, whenever you let me down, I refer to the Rees Moggs and the Priti Patels of this world.
Well, it's a tried and tested
because they're happy to oblige. Because they're happy to oblige most of the time.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you. It's a tried and tested method. On this similar note, I mean, this is turning out to be
rather sinister and dirty.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a show full of ribaldry, shall we say? It's
Yes.
It's bawdier than we intended, I think. But
let's
that's
make
fine.
let's make it a little bit more family viewing.
Yeah, so let's make it family viewing with the news. This is current affairs. The news that Dick has now. Cressida Dick has resigned, and Johnson is not. Sorry, you know what? Dick gets the sack. Sorry, what's this? Dick withdraws. I mean, this. I haven't got very good. You know what? I'm going to abandon my notes on that. Let's not talk about the police commissioner, because I think it's probably leading us towards the same kind of innuendo. You tell me what you were going to say.
I was what was I going to say? Yes, going back. Yes, what have I got here? Wilderness guy. So wilderness guy. There's a guy on YouTube, yeah, who I shared a link with you and another friend this week. This guy who lives in the middle of Azerbaijan, right?
Okay.
Has a cooking show where he cooks in the wilderness, and he has an eagle as a friend that comes and watches him, yeah, on YouTube.
It's not like when Nacho Libre went into the wilderness, is it?
Wilderness. That's
because that was quite good. That was.
But there's one thing I like about, there's a lot of cooking programs on YouTube, people cooking out while on campsites, while they're camping up a mountain, all that wilderness stuff. But what I like about this guy is the total remoteness in the mountains of Azerbaijan with an eagle as a friend, and he's got about 17 children that eat his food that he cooks. But he cooks like a whole buffalo.
Sorry, this is not like Game of Thrones or something you've been watching, is it?
It's literally like Game of Thrones. But the best thing about him is once he's made and prepared all this lovely...
I'm really worried about these 17 kids, I'm really worried about that.
He has this thing where he eats the meat, so he's picking up and super. He does that. Yeah,
is that the only thing he says?
That's all he says. And I think Babar.
Where is he getting the meat? Are you like counting the children in each subsequent video? Like if he's down to about he's not down to about 3 kids now, is he?
He does show himself going down to the markets and slaughtering the animals and all that kind of stuff. But what's even more amazing about this guy, the fucking idiot, that he is, and he's an amazing guy. Yeah,
you were just praising him a second ago. Okay.
No, right, I just thought, you know what, you're doing something really nice. Showing us how you live, and you're not into the commercial life, and but you're on fucking YouTube, and you've got a bloody line of kitchen utensils that you can buy.
Well, man, the man's got to live as well, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure the market is also I like the fact that he goes to the market. I thought you were going to say, because I just shared with you now a video of people on horseback shooting arrows as the horse is running at full gallop. So I thought that he would be maybe hunting like that or something similar. No,
he doesn't do anything that like that. He just goes to the shop like the rest of us. Nice. So I don't know why it's called wilderness.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds less wild when you talk about him going to the shop and buying I mean, has he got like plumbing and stuff? How does he draw his water?
So he's got because he lives up in the mountains, he's got a really nice like a well that's gushing with fresh water, and he washes it's amazing. It is amazing to watch. It's quite therapeutic. But yeah,
talking of these,
the man's got a product line you can buy.
Talking about these YouTube videos, do you ever get irrational anger when you sometimes make a discovery of an amazing video series like this, and then you decide to share it with someone, and then you find out that they're a bigger fan, and they're like, oh yeah, I've completed all his videos. Yeah, he's really good. He's I've been to his live appearance or something, and he does this. And I'm like, what do you mean you've already seen it? And then you look at some of these subscriptions, and they've got like 2 million followers. So you think, well,
this is it. So 337,000 people have watched the video that I was talking about. Yeah. So I'm thinking, where the hell have I been? The fuck have I been doing with my life?
As we speak, I have on this channel 442 followers, I believe, which I don't really know how I acquired them, because I've never done anything.
I have 12 because I'm not big on social media, even though I should be, because I'm a musician.
Yeah, you are a musician, actually.
But I don't do anything of the sort. However, I have reached over 300 Shazams in my lifetime, which is really good stat.
It's a good start, but it also means some random club DJ in Eastern Europe
is playing my music.
Is just pirating your music to an audience and gaining great accolades for this.
No, but I guess because of the algorithms, it's all associated to me.
That's what are the top locations? I think it was Eastern Europe, wasn't it? Turkey and stuff like that.
No, the top location are Nigeria, South America, mainly South America. Nigeria is one, and yeah, a little bit of Italy and Eastern Europe, but South America and Nigeria are biggest fans. So I'm really looking forward to my tour next year.
You know, I was DJing somewhere once. When I say DJing, I mean literally just playing stuff on my laptop.
One of these ones. One of them ones, yeah?
Well, no, I mean,
I've seen you at a venue where you have screamed from the top of your voice certain words that really, really question my beliefs while Justin Timberlake was playing.
It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, yeah. And I think there was almost a terrorist attack at that particular gig as well. So we managed to escape with our lives.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the after party, not the actual gig.
That was the after party, yeah. So it wouldn't have even got very good coverage if we had perished. What was I saying? Yes, I was DJing once, and you know, this kid comes up to me and says, and I thought, okay, what's the request going to be? You know what the request was?
What was the request?
The request was, well, the request came to a person who was sitting next to me because I couldn't be bothered to, you know, pay attention to a kid. This is far below my status and level in society. But anyway, so that person said, this kid wants you to play Astronomia. And I thought, what? And they didn't know what that is. And I looked at the kid, I said, do you mean the coffin dance song? And the kid said, yes, the coffin. So the kid, you know, there's a meme where there's these guys from I don't know which African country it is, but they have perfected the art of dancing with a coffin on their shoulders, and it's used to sometimes people append it to the end of these unfortunate videos where somebody's falling off a cliff or whatever, and then it cuts to the guys dancing with a coffin on their shoulders. Yes, I've
seen these.
So the kid literally requested that song and wanted it to be played. And I'm sad enough to know that it is called Astronomia, and if somebody wants to actually look for it. But yeah, I worry because the same kid was then dabbing on a bouncy castle. So, you know, these kids are, they do exist.
What would you do, depending on who goes first, how would you celebrate my life? Not like that, I hope. I would like to be crammed into that rucksack that we were talking about and just plopped into the coffin.
Well, I'll have to see if I can make it to the Istanbul embassy, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. So let's something amazing is going to happen tonight. I'm
so happy for you and your partner.
My partner is you. You don't know about it yet. But tell me, are you still ahead of the game?
Am I still? Did you say ahead of the game or ahead of the game?
Ahead of the game.
I can't work out what you mean.
Don't worry, I'll get there.
Go on.
Do you still fuck with beats?
Not anymore. No, not ever since the injury.
Are you still not loving police?
Oh, okay.
One more. Don't get there. Don't go. One more. Do you still rock your khakis with a cuff and a crease?
Yeah. I'm very much on board with all of these things now. Suddenly, because I've clocked as to what's going on here.
Yeah, I thought it'll be a nice way to end the show. You see.
Yeah. That is a nice way to end the show. Okay.
Please. You still got love for the streets. Please tell me you do.
I have still got love for the streets.
I'm repping 213 for life. Something like this or something, I don't know, West Coast, something like, I don't know.
My doorbell's gone, but I'm going to ignore that.
Ignore it because the show's almost finished. But what I wanted to say was, are you getting up at 3 a.m. this morning?
No, why? Is it going to be some kind? Is this some kind of performance related to what you've been saying? Is somebody back?
It's the Super Bowl, and guess who's doing the halftime show?
Don't tell me it's like Snoop and Dre and people like this.
Snoop, Dre, Eminem, and Mary J. Blige.
I'm so happy that Dre has recovered from his very unfortunate injury that he sustained, because remember he was about to die. What's the other guy who suddenly died very recently? I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. But Dre,
Nate Dogg,
not
Tupac,
Nate Dogg,
Biggie. All of these guys died all of a sudden. Michael Jackson, Prince,
no,
Michael.
Who's the guy who did? DMX. DMX died suddenly and shockingly.
Give it to you.
And around about the same time, Dre sustained some terrible brain aneurysm or something. Do you remember this?
I think he was trying to calculate how many billions he had in his account, and that just fucked his mind and fried it all up.
Yeah. So I'm glad to hear that he's back. I don't know if, to be honest, in this cynical world, if he does drop dead before the Super Bowl, they'll probably just like get a hologram of him up and carry on.
Nice thing you say that. I think Tupac will be making an appearance as a hologram tonight.
You know what? They are just. It's very unnerving that they can screw with people like that long after they're dead and can really get. And you know what they do? They ask their estates for permission. And you know what? A lot of the time, people's estates are just money-grabbing bastards, aren't they? I mean, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't get me.
Of course, the estate of J.R. Tolkien are going to give permission to make a £1 billion television series. Of course, that's going to happen. But Tolkien himself used to shrink from fame, and you know, people used to come. For example, when he was a lecturer, people used to come and look at him through the window, and he used to tell them to fuck off. That's actually a reasonably true story.
You know what I want to do as one of my fantasies? I want to come to your house and I want to knock on the window, and I literally want you to say fuck off. And you know what? That will really get me on a high.
That's probably
the kind of things I like.
Probably what will happen. Anyway, do you want to do the quiz, or shall I just list the spanking sting levels? Shall I just list them?
List the quiz, because it will test our level of knowledge on this, and then certain things will be revealed about ourselves.
Okay, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call out an implement.
Yep.
Of spanking, and you are going to then tell me if it's higher or lower than the next implement. Okay.
Oh, so we're doing the Bruce Forsyth, higher or lower?
Yeah, we are. Okay. Yeah, okay, right. So I've got here a round paddle. Now, is that higher or lower than the human hand?
You know, I'm going to say, because the human hand is quite soft, and there's fingers and there's
speak for yourself, mate. I have very manly and harsh hands. Yeah, I never moisturize ever. Yeah.
So I'm going to say, and because of the surface area, so I'm going to say a little bit higher, just a little bit.
Yeah, it is a little bit higher. You're absolutely right. Now, what about the straight paddle? Is that higher or lower than a paddle of similar dimensions, which is perforated?
Oof.
or has like
real detail in these paddles?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to say lower.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is lower. Now, what about the ruler? Is the ruler higher or lower than the straight paddle?
I'm going to say higher because of its flex and surface area.
Now, strangely, on this scale, you are wrong.
Oh, no.
It is lower. So that's the first one you've got wrong. Now then, is the leather belt higher or lower than the wooden cane?
Whip. It's that whip appeal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I will go higher.
You are wrong. The wooden cane, like the traditional walking stick looking cane, has been ranked as a 10 on this. So it's really at the high end. Now,
who's been ranking these?
Now, is that wooden cane higher or lower than the riding crop? And this is your final question.
I refuse to answer that one because I think I know the answer, so I'll let you just tell the audience what the. I don't want to expose myself.
Okay. No, this is taking a strange twist. This has. I didn't expect. I didn't expect.
I don't want to put both of us into it. You know what I mean? We just leave it at that. Just tell them what it is.
I didn't expect the breakdown of this quiz to happen in this manner. But anyway, it's slightly lower. It's ranked. The riding crop is slightly lower than the wooden cane. And there we have it. You know, I can go into some other types of things next week if you like. Because there are some hand signals here, and some also some basic collars.
Yes, the collar. Remember the collar?
I remember you once made a collar for me out of corrugated cardboard, and the challenge was to wear it around our workplace, which I did.
Can you imagine? Yeah. And you imagine the imprints that the corrugated cardboard would have made on your neck.
Well, I don't need to imagine because it has happened to me, thanks to you. And a lot of people thought that I was actually injured, and they expressed great sympathy for me.
It's really funny how we got away with that, but I really enjoyed looking at you.
I think it's really funny how we get away with most things. Anyway, Babar, this has been nice. This has been better than last week, which is the main thing. What are you going to be up to the rest of the weekend?
I'm potentially just going to be doing some sealant around my shower because I'm into that kind of stuff as well. I like looking at stuff oozing out. And
you know what, you've started this, I don't know how you've started this show and you've ended it very horny indeed. Like, I'm really quite concerned now. There are ways to alleviate this, which I will talk to you off air about how we can sort that out for you.
Can I borrow that teddy bear in the corner, please?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a smaller one as well, which probably will suit you better, but there's a number of options, because I mean, I've got this one which has several limbs, as you can see, and a couple of very pointy ears. So yeah, we'll discuss this later. Have a good one, Babar.
You too, my friend.